video game film DOA, Dead or Alive, is without question one of the worst video game films I've ever seen. From bad acting to the ludicrous plot to even the fighting being terrible. This is a video game movie you should avoid at all costs simply because it is just downright awful. Well, another horrible video game adaptation. I avoided this movie for many years simply because of the awful reception it had. But since this was a video game film, I thought I'd, check it out. And my goodness, that was a waste of my 87 minutes I'll never get back. This movie is just awful. Like, from the acting, which is downright horrible, to even the fighting scenes that are in this movie. Especially this fighting scene right here, it made me laugh out loud, no joke.
Wanna play?
Seriously, what in the hell is that shit? You expect me to take this movie seriously with fighting scenes like that? But that's the least of this film's problems. This video game movie is based off the video game franchise of the same name. You got all the characters that's in that video game in this film. But I really didn't care about any characters in this movie. Like, this film was mainly targeted towards males, because you have the women and their sex appeal in this movie. And that's only what this film is at the end of the day. It is hot women fighting, and that's about it. The storyline is a mess. They even managed to bring Eric Roberts in this horrendous movie. I don't know what in the world he was thinking when he signed on to do this film, but hey, I guess for the paycheck. Anyway, though, I keep asking myself, I keep watching these horrible video game films because you guys don't have to. And I really thinking, like, this movie just is a bore fest. The only thing in this film I found amusing was the fight scenes, only because of how ridiculous they were. But I guess they was trying to do that over the top fighting. Well, guess what? That's not the only thing that was over the top. The acting, the final fight scene that's in this film is just downright horrible. And everything about this film just screams pathetic. Do yourself a huge favor, avoid this dumpster fire at all costs. The director of this film, Corey Yuen, who had also directed The Transporter, a movie I very well liked, did he manage to talk to Uwe Boll over the phone? Because this is the type of stuff you'll find in an Uwe Boll film, because this film is downright disastrous. Like, I couldn't take this film seriously, and I just saw just really good-looking women just fighting, and that's really all this movie was about. I was bored with the characters. I didn't care about the bad guy that Eric Roberts had played. And the whole generic setup of, hey, let's try to stop the bad guy. It's done very poorly here. See, this is why you don't turn a video game franchise like Dead or Alive, it's a fighting game, into a movie. Rarely does that ever work. Only real exception was probably the Mortal Kombat film from '95. And even that movie there had a few issues, but it's nowhere near the horrible catastrophe that this film is. I don't really care to ever look at this film ever again, and just at the end of the day, it is one of the worst video game movies of all time. No wonder this film was a box office bomb, because no one wanted to see it in theaters. I'm giving this film a 3 out of 10. Yeah, this is without question one of the worst video game films I've ever seen. This movie is pure trash. There is no reason why they had to deliver such an awful movie. But I've seen so many horrible video game films now, is that this is just another movie at the bottom of the garbage pile. This movie ain't special, ain't nothing great about it, and it certainly makes the 95 Mortal Kombat film and of course the first Street Fighter movie look like masterpieces. That's how awful this film is to me, and strangely enough, I never played the video games, but I have checked out some footage online, and that looks more interesting than this so-called Kung Fu movie. If they wanted to make the fighting scenes interesting, make it more realistic. Nonetheless though, this video game film is a complete waste of time, and this film, while it does have some moments you could probably laugh at, this is not an entertaining movie to me at all. And that's my review of the video game film DOA Dead or Alive. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this film. Do you agree this is like one of the worst video game movies you ever seen? Alright, this is Slum Guy 172 saying peace out.